Hello and welcome to our special series on amplifying growth, achieving impact. I'm Pallavi from People Matters. Through our exclusive video series in partnership with upGrad for Business, we explore critical themes to upskill and unleash the potential of talent to thrive in the future of work. From role transformation to reducing skill obsolescence to even employee engagement, these three will be critical action areas for leaders as they navigate a dynamic business landscape. These insights and expertise from industry leaders will then culminate into a multimedia ebook where we find answers to how do we empower organizations to thrive in the new age economy. Today's session will center around reducing skill obsolescence, where we will unlock learning strategies that can enable businesses to keep pace with an evolving skill demand. We will explore how leaders can create learning opportunities with the right vision, goals, partners, and an experimental approach to varied learning formats. To capture these insights and much more, I'm excited to welcome today Arun AB, National Retail Operations Manager at Vedant Fashions Limited, Manyavar-Mohey. He's a passionate retailer with a decade of experience in this field. Arun's passion lies in the fashion business, and he's continuously learning and excelling in the field of fashion management. Also joining us today is Minaxi Indra, President of upGrad for Business. Minaxi has almost 2 decades of business growth experience across Asia Pacific and is a purpose-driven leader, motivated by building businesses and positively impact customers and the marketplace. She leads marketing, sales, solutions, and customer success teams for upGrad for Business. And last but not the least, in our exciting panel today, we have Gautam Gupta, President, Business Development, upGrad Work Better. He has over 3 decades of work experience across professions and corporations. He comes with 17 years of experience in the areas of education, learning and development, corporate training, and L&D operations. Welcome all of you on the panel.
Thank you, Pallavi.
Starting off with discussion, I would like to start with Arun. We know that reducing skill obsolescence is critical for companies, for organizations, if they really want to keep pace with an evolving skill demand. But when it actually comes to achieving this, what is that one way you would recommend organizations today to go about it?
So, namaskar to everyone. So, we were happy to be here. So, to answer your question, so people is something which we feel is a very important criteria in our business, because they are the front end, they are the touch point, and they are actually the two brand ambassadors of the brand. They actually give a good customer experience. They can give a delight, and they can make or break that day, that particular moment of magic. So that's the reason why we always believe in upskilling our team. We always believe in coaching them and make them relevant for the business. So our business is very different. If you see, it is not like a mobile phone where you need to know the specifications, or where the customer comes after researching. Or it's not like your jeans or a t-shirt where you know that you can buy every 3 months, 6 months, and you come alone. Our business is very unique. Like, the customer has no clue. Most of the time he's getting married first time. So he has to come in and he has to completely rely on the fashion advisor to help him for his wedding outfit. And this is something which he can't go wrong about, because it's going to be one of the best memory he's going to have in his lifetime, and it's going to be widely shared and in the digital world. So, and our customers don't get age, like they are always in that bracket of 23 to 30. So it's a new generation which keeps coming in every time. So that's where upskilling our teams, keeping them relevant and do the same process day in, day out is a very important thing for us. So that's why people matters a lot for us.
Well, absolutely. Gautam, any thoughts on this, like as we kick off the conversation?
So I think, Pallavi, what I feel is that the upskillance is very important from Manyavar's perspective, because I think the requirement, even for a person who is getting married for the first time in the age gap of 23 to 30, is constantly evolving. What was relevant 10 years back from the same group of people getting married for the first time, the expectation from at the retail front is become different. Right. So today, earlier, the entire family used to come and shop. Probably that thing is changing now. So I think the person at the front line has to be constantly trained to understand the latest in terms of customer thought process, their requirement, and of course, what they expect from the garment also. And these are garments which are, very, very important in their lifetime, and it's something which they carry. So this whole aspect of people upskilling becomes very important. So that's what I would like to add here.
And if I could, Gautam, could not agree more with you. And And such a pleasure partnering with you on this engagement. And Arun, thank you so much for being on this panel with us. Pallavi, if I could add to this as well. When we look at skill obsolescence is usually in the context of the now and the future. And the interesting thing about future is that it's always right around the corner. Same applies to skills as well. We heard Arun so wonderfully capture that in terms of the experience that his fashion advisors are trying to give to the audience who comes into their store. The same applies to all of us. The next tech, the next new code, the next strategy is usually only a few months away. While most organizations plan skilling for their data and technology needs, more often than not, it is the behavioral skills, when coupled with the technical knowledge, creates business impact. I am reminded here of a recent analysis by Deloitte and Deakin University that stated soft skill intensive occupations will account for two-thirds of all jobs by 2030. Two-thirds of all jobs by 2030. Imagine the significance of this. Our intentional or inadvertent lack of attention to this will only amplify the skills gap and increase the incidence of skills obsolescence. My recommendation here to companies is that, irrespective of their current growth trajectory, to keep a 18 to 36-month lens of their business priorities when they plan their skilling programs. While this may seem difficult with the volatility around us in terms of the macroeconomic scenario, refocusing on this will bring both short-term and long-term benefits. We have enough and more data points that our workforce is looking at their employees to offer continuous learning paths to them, accelerating their skills, and by virtue of that, business performance. Case in point, of course, is our current conversation with Arun. The Manyavar team is a strong testament to the agility and impact demonstrated by their leadership team in keeping the immediate business ask, which might be revenues in mind, and at the same time, keeping customer centricity at the core. This, of course, leads to employee engagement, attention, and I'm certain building loyalty, which is critical in the long term as organizations scale and continue to be successful. So to recap, Pallavi, a medium to long-term view of business priorities rather than a short-term knee-jerk reaction is the best way to navigate skills obsolescence.
Thanks, Minaxi, for those opening thoughts. And well, coming back to you, Arun, for any learning initiative, intervention to succeed, the vision is very important. The vision plays a significant role. So this brings me to ask, what was the vision? What were the driving forces behind launching the Manyavar experience in partnership with upGrad Work Better? And what were some of the programs that drove this initiative?
So it was a very interesting vision what we had. So if you see, we are around 650 stores. We're spread around 14 million square feet. We have a huge network. We are present from north to south, east, west. We are present in tier 2, tier 3 cities. And when compared to a EBO, we have one of the strong presence of this magnitude. So we realized if we have to give a uniform experience for our customers across the network, we need to bring in a huge change. We believe that and one more very interesting part of our business is we have just one off season, which is the Q2, which is when the monsoons hit, there's no weddings which happens across the country. So that is the time which we use for our renovations. We even ask our teams to go on their annual holidays and other things because that's the downtime for us. So we realized whatever we have to do it in this small window of 2 to 3 months. And for that, we need to partner with someone who's expert in this particular industry, someone like upGrad. And we started this exercise 6 months back. We wanted them to come up with a complete revamp. We called it more like an intervention, which we needed to do. And they really helped us out. In different things like planning out the complete thought process, how we are going to do workshops, let it be of our franchisee partners, let it be for our area sales managers, or let it be the store managers and the sales staff, which is the fashion advisors. And because everyone is they all come together and they have different roles, but they need to have a different drives and they need to be upskilled in a different way. So that's where they helped us with the Manyavar experience. We made a lot of good videos, which is something which really helped us to drive our points very easily to our front-end staff. We had to do it in different languages also because we didn't expect everyone to understand Hindi or English. So we had to do some in Tamil and Telugu also. So this really helped my tier 3 store, a bottom store who's sitting there. third or fourth, guy who's there, the video was a simple way for him to actually understand what is expected out of him. And we made induction programs so that someone who comes in new, because we do have a churn rate, people do come in, new stores come in, people come in. So that way, these videos were really very useful for them to come up to speed. Apart from that, if you see, we had close to 70 plus batches running in a period of 15 to 20 days and simultaneously in the different parts of the country. This is something would have just not been possible if it was not upGrad. They really helped us to get good trainers in different parts of the country. The course was clearly designed, and we were able to actually deliver a message wide across the country. And we could really see the difference. Like something which came very unintentionally is like in the videos, there was this fashion advisor. His name was Vikas. So when I was casually going around my store visits and when I was meeting my teams and I asked them what inspired you in these videos, what did you learn? Everyone said, sir, हमको भी विकास जैसा बनना है. I was like, विकास? I was like, sir, वो वीडियो में आया था ना वो फैशन एडवाइजर, उसका नाम है विकास. So हमको भी विकास जैसा बनना है. We also want to be the Vikas. The name came so aptly, and I realized what impact actually it created on them. That Vikas had become actually the role model from them, and he inspired them, saying that this is the youngsters actually got inspired out of it. So that is the level of impact with this intervention which we actually could be able to do. And imagine if this is what we can do. Imagine we can do so many things, and that's the reason. And that's why we have such a great partnership with upGrad, and we are very happy, and we know our teams will shine even further. They will get upskilled, and yes, that will result in a great Manyavar experience for our customers and eventually the revenues.
Well, continuing our discussion on this venture, I want to hear from Gautam. It's multi-program that were rolled out simultaneously through virtual and in-person workshops. While a blended learning approach is rising in importance and specific to the Manyavar experience, what did upGrad wish to achieve through this blended learning intervention?
I think Arun has very rightly said exactly what I wanted to add. But I think our entire vision right from beginning was to ensure that the vision showed by Arun and all the top management, in fact, Vedant Modi and his father Ravi Modi were very closely involved in this project. And they had said very clearly that, you know what, at the end of the day, I want to give a great customer experience. So our entire endeavor was to be able to look at the various ways we can give that thing. So we looked at a multi, format level where we did a very extensive mystery audit. In fact, our entire team fanned out and tried to gauge from a customer experience what exactly is happening at the Manyavar store. That was one touch point in terms of mystery audit. And this mystery audit, of course, threw up a lot of interesting data, which were in sync with what probably Arun and team had shared with us. However, there were certain more discoveries which we made in this entire process. Then we said that, okay, now based on this, we need to come up with a blended learning format. So that's where the instructor-led classroom session along with the e-learning within the digital format came up, because the target audience is very digitally savvy. So we said, okay, we will, and the whole aspect of Vikas came up where we developed, of course, like you all know, the greatest of innovation in century has been because of some accident. So in this case also, probably this whole name Vikas came up as an accident, but it had some great impact. That's where we put together these videos, which were really inspirational, and we broke up the entire sales experience process into multiple videos. So to showcase each step of what is required to be done at a Manyavar store, right? Please understand that when a customer walks into a Manyavar store, he or she is getting married. So there are several questions, a lot of them anxieties to be able to get that perfect look. So our ability to capture those customer moments in a video format. But that was only one part of it. The other part of it is to be able to go to the classroom with experts from our team across the country and be able to deliver a very rich content from an experiential point of view in the classroom. Because again, realizing that the target audience is probably not very highly educated, we can't go into very conceptual, high level discussion. It had to be very straight to the point, covering what we want and still making a difference, making them realize what is expected out of them. Yeah. So that's where the methodology was designed in a manner which is very simplistic, but still carries home the message what we are trying to drive as far as the customer experience is concerned. So I think in the entire journey, we kept the target audience in mind in terms of their level and ensuring that they enjoy the session and they learn the session, they learn what we want, and that is then displayed in a application. So it was just not learning transfer, but how they can apply it. So I think the videos worked in a very beautiful way for them to apply it. So when they learned certain concept, the video reinforced it. And that's why Vikas became such a powerful icon for them. I think that is what was the entire thought process in the entire blended journey format we designed for them.
Sure. And as we can, understand after hearing from Arun and Gautam that it was highly personalized and customized, and we could also understand the impact that it had on the learners. But Arun, we also would like to hear how did it support the organization's overall upskilling strategy?
So if you have to see, we had some broad level thought processes. So we wanted to deliver this message in a very easy way. I know that PPTs are not going to work or long emails are not going to work. So upGrad helped us with nice posters. If you see, one of the major change what we did using this big intervention was we stopped calling customers as customers. We started calling them as guests. Today, if you see all our reports, all our communication, and when I interact with the stores also, we say today how many guests walk into our store. Someone who believe in Aditi Devo Bhava. So that is something which we want to put it in our DNA of our system. So today we talk only guests. We don't talk about customers. Maybe today I will speak customer experience, but otherwise it's always going to be how you're going to treat your guests. How have you given a delight to your guests? So that is something which we have incorporated. And the posters, after giving the training, obviously we have to continue that because I don't want people to forget whatever they have learned after a period of a couple of months. So we made small, good posters. We got it done in their back rooms. So when they see what they have learned will always, they will remember those things. That's something which has really helped us. And if you see what was the broad level vision, what we wanted to achieve is, look, it's a very happy moment. Your customers are in a very happy moment in their life. They're celebrating something. We are a celebration brand. And if you come and notice in our store, it's a very positive vibe which we have. And one of the key ingredients for that is the people who are there, who welcome these guys in a very traditional way. We always say namaskar. We make sure that first they sit, have a water, make them comfortable. It's not only the customer's family also. It's either the guy and the girl, or it's two families. It is a very important moment in their life. And that's something which we always value. So we make them comfortable. We understand what are their functions is, because every different community, every different state have a different type of functions and rituals what they have. Some might celebrate Haldi, some might not. Same thing goes for other functions. It is very important for us to first understand what are the functions, where it is happening, how it's happening, and then start suggesting the looks and outfits. And our overall goal is to have multiple occasions, multiple outfits. I don't say product, I say outfits, because it's the complete look which we want to achieve. And no wedding happens in a single occasion. There are multiple occasions in the wedding. And as a true market leader, we want to own up that entire space. And that is only possible when we have a great team who thinks in that way, saying that, look, a customer has come in, I'm not going to sell, I'm not going to help him only with one outfit. I'm going to help him with all his functions, all his outfits, not only for him, for his father also, for his mother also, for his sister also. And that is something which we thrive for. And we have some small concept called wow bills. A bill of certain size is called a wow bill. So we believe every groom and bride bill is a wow bill for us. And our teams are today very much geared. They feel that what is it? Now I know how to go about and make a wow bill. How should I approach the entire journey? These are things which really help. And one more thing, I have a very key insight which we got after executing is, we did a do's and don'ts, like what you should not do. that had created a great impact among the team. There was this particular module where the guy judges a customer based on what he's wearing. And there's this one guy who comes in and he says that my wedding is 8 months down the line. I just come to explode. So usually these are natural human tendencies where the staff sees like, why should I want to waste my turn? Why should I want to spend my time with someone who's not going to buy today? So we wanted to bring in that culture change that if you give him a great service right now and you impress him, eventually he has to buy 3 months, 4 months down the line. He will remember you and he'll come back to you rather than choosing any other brand or any other store. Those things really created an impact among team. Like when we ask them saying that, what did you learn out of it? These are the things which come in. And we are very happy that we were able to actually influence them and we are able to change their approach and thought process and how to go about their customers. And that's the great thing the great outcome which has come out of it. I'm sure we have a lot of great things to do and we have to continuously upskill our team. And this is just a start. Behavioral is just a start. We want to be the best of best people and give the experience. And one more thing which we believe in is, look, you don't get people ready-made. You say like, I want a Vikas to be hired. Yes, you might be lucky once or twice, but you can't ignore the people whom you have, who have been there with you, part of your family. How can you upgrade them and become a Vikas is what we believe in, rather than we go out and scout all Vikases in the store. We believe our existing team members can be upskilled. And that's where we will invest our time and energy.
Well, talking about learning, upGrad for Business has been focusing on lifelong learning for its customers. I mean, actually, I want to hear from you. How did you, as a learning partner, align yourself with organizations' long-term skilling goals? And what was that one key lesson, that you'll carry with you?
Sure. Pallavi, before I jump into that, Arun, the passion with which you speak about the obsession that your team has towards guests is fantastic. It has been so amazing to hear, from the smaller nuances to the deeper depth that such engagements take. It's really enriching for us. So appreciate you sharing that. The reason I also say that is I see such a strong correlation to what Gautam and we as Work Better and upGrad for Business try to do, because the way that you're talking about your guests is the way that we want to talk about all the Vikases that you have in your organization. So no time like this meeting of the mind is so wonderful to kind of see this coming together. I just want to take a moment, Pallavi, before I jump into and respond to the question that you have for me. So in my view, being a lifelong learner means being able to serve the learning needs of not just today, but tomorrow as well. It also means keeping up with the changes in the market, trends across industries, its progression, risk, and opportunities. Essentially, tracing a path by connecting the current dots to draw where the future might lead us. At upGrad for Business, we have the unique distinction of deep skills in building data, leadership management paths, and via our upGrad Work Better consolidation, bring depths of soft skills training. We have partnered with a diverse set of industries, from retail to FMCG to manufacturing to ITES to GCCs and so on. As part of our engagement with companies, we see ourselves as the extended talent partner to the business and the L&D teams. Pallavi, the reason that I appreciate your query is, at the core of it, we focus on the organizational priorities like business growth, optimization, profitability, and we try to understand which of these are the focus areas for that organization. From this, we work towards understanding what the quantification of it would look like from that organization's lens. For us, it's a three-tiered process of understanding. First, understanding the reskilling expectations of the employee. Second, understanding the learning partner or the L&D team's priorities as it pertains to their employees. And third, the CXO or the business unit expectations from this engagement. This enables us to create a program that is aligned with all three of the stakeholders within an organization. We call it the meld of toolset, skill set, and mindset. Toolset, which is needed for the employee to upskill. Skill set, planned by the L&D team, and the organizational mindset, which eventually everybody gravitates towards. For example, in this context, it might mean focusing on the fashion advisor's ability to communicate and appreciate the guest need. maybe when done well, it could potentially lead to a 2x productivity gain in that particular store versus others. This approach has helped us in delivering strong outcomes for our customers, which have been recognized not by the company itself, but also by the esteemed panel like that of Brandon Hall, which has over the past 18 months bestowed on us 4 gold awards for excellence in delivering learning programs. In fact, in one of the previous conversations, Pallavi, we had Bennett Coleman Company Limited come in and talk to us about the soft skills initiative and the learning strategy that we did together, which won one of these gold awards. In summary, the one key lesson we learned is that no matter how good the programs are, if you're not able to quantify the impact to the business, it is as good as not doing it at all. And that's something we take very seriously, which is measuring this business outcomes and quantifying this business outcomes for companies.
Well, as we wrap this whole conversation around the Manyavar experience, Arun, we want to hear from you. If you could highlight, one thing that organizations must do immediately to create an immersive learning experience, which also translates into business outcomes, what would that be?
Take care of your people, first thing, because today customers are very well informed. They come, they do their pre-research, they know what they want, everything. So unless you don't upskill your team will feel that how am I adding value? And they might feel a little left out. They would not be confident. So that is where we have to help our teams. We have to help our teams to be more confident, educated, be ready to handle the new customers who are walking in, because we constantly get new young generation customers who come in, and their demands are changing every other year. Their language changes. Sometimes our staff will not be able to understand the lingo what these kids use, and that is something which really puts them very defensive. So it's about bringing in that confidence for them. Make sure that they know that what they are doing, and giving them continuous assurance, saying that, look, what you're doing is right. This is what we expect you to do it. And the warmth, what you can give in and make them comfortable is something which we expect out of you. So this really helps our teams to go about their jobs every day. And imagine someone has been doing every year 200, 300 group bills every year, continuous. For him, sometimes they get a little overconfident also. So they might not put in their same effort what they are doing. So that is also very important, where we keep a check. I know you know how to sell, but still, for him, he's getting married for the first time. You might have done 100 group bills this month, but now is the time where you have to make him also feel special. So, and one more thing, what happens is ours is a very seasonal business. When people, marriages tend to be in the same period of time. So there are a lot of groups walking at the same time. And that is also something where how can you put a pleasant face even though when you're after a long, tiring day. So these are the small things which we continuously push it. And this is something which needs a continuous education and reinforcement with the team. And that really helps. And if that is very good for the business, and that's very good for the guest experience, what we are looking at, and we will continue to do that. And I think that's what organizations should keep in mind. Adapting so many techs, you're adapting so many new strategies, but you somehow have to keep saying that your brand ambassadors, your people, invest in them also, educate them also. They are the ones who are going to use these techs. You're doing this not only for your guests, you're using them for your employee also. So your employee has a great experience, your guest will automatically have a great experience. So that's something which we always keep in mind.
Well, thank you, Arun, for all those key takeaways from this session. Thank you, Minaxi and Gautam, for sharing your time, your experience, and your expertise with us here on this panel. It was really enriching to know how organizations can roll out L&D interventions with a blended format for a greater impact. So that's all we have for this session today. We'll bring in more exciting and impactful takeaways on empowering your organization's growth strategies to thrive in the new age economy. Stay tuned for our next discussion. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Pallavi.
Thank you. Thanks, Pallavi. Thanks, everybody. Yeah.